What's going on YouTube? Overwatch here, coming at you with another deck profile. This time I have my PK fire list for you. Now I believe that this deck definitely has the ability to become top of this format. So, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. First off, 3 Speedroid Teratop and 2 Tekatomborg. Now I feel like this card is just really good at 2 because it allows you to make some really good plays with Levier. Also, if you happen to draw multiple copies of it in hand, it's still not that bad. You can always normal summon it and then special summon the other. Next off, we have 1 Tour Guide and 1 Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Now, I don't run more than 1 copy of this because, you don't run a pure BA deck. So, obviously, this card doesn't have as much use at 3, so I feel like 1 is just a nice copy to have just in case you mill it off of Dante or you summon it with Tour Guide. Or even if you have this and another BA monster in hand, you can still get some form of use out of it. Next we have the best Burning Abyss monsters, Triple Scarm, Double Seer, and 1 Graph. Finally, for our Beatrice targets, we have 2 Farfar to banish monsters during your opponent's turn, 1 Calcab to bounce your opponent's back row during their end phase, and 1 Barbar for 900 damage per game. Finally, for the Phantom Knights, we have 2 Ragged Gloves, 2 Ancient Cloak, and 3 Silent Boots. Now, I like this ratio the best, especially in PK Fire, because I feel like this ratio just clogs the less. Yet you still manage to get all the pluses which you can from your gloves, cloak, and boots. So boots you just definitely have to max out on, no matter what, just max out on this card to be able to search your Fiendish Chains. Plus this card special summons itself when you control another Phantom Knight, so it's always good when you control another Phantom Knight. Finally, we have our 3 hand traps in the form of Max C. Now this card is definitely the best hand trap going forward into next format. Especially the fact that it's go first or bust, really. Even going first, this card is still really good because it allows you to set up and then during your opponent's turn max C them. So then they have to think about what they actually do and not give you so many more pulses. Even against Monarchs, this is still good. They have their 1-for-1, their Aether, their mini IDOS or whatever it's called, the mini Squires and all that. So this card is just really good. Even preemptively maxing Monarchs is still good because they may still have to summon their red layer. That's it for the monsters. Now for the spell cards, 3 Twin Twister, because this card is just too good against Monarchs, and Domain is a pain in the arse also. So you just kind of need this to be able to get rid of Domain. Plus the discard effect doesn't really matter that much. Plus you get your Phantom Knights and BA cards into graveyard to then activate their effects. 2 Mass Change 2 because we run Dark Lord in the extra deck. Also, the discard effect is also pretty good, along with just sending monsters to grave. So then you can instantly use them to be able to search your Fiendish Chains or just get a Scarm effect off during the end phase to be able to get you Tour Guide. And finally 1 Reinforcement of the Army, because Reinforcement of the Army searches out your Phantom Knights. And finally, for the traps, we have 3 Phantom Knights Fogblade, your searchable Fiendish Chain, your 3 Solemn Strike, because it's the best counter trap card we've had in a long time, and Solemn Warning, because it's probably the best counter trap card we have at the moment. That's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck. 3 Dante, because in PK Fire you kind of really need the 3rd Dante, because even though the pure like Phantom Knight build could only run like 2. I feel like 3 is just like really good. So then rather than having to use the second Dante to be able to shuffle the first Dante back, you can at least get some profit off of these 2 Dantes before you have to start spinning Dantes back with this Dante. Now the money card, the double Phantom Knight Breaksword. Now this card just really good. Like, it's not a needed 3 of. Like, normally whenever I summon this, I just end up pushing for game because I end up breaking their boards and just like pushing for lots of damage. And especially when I've got trap cards set, like, there's just not really much they can actually do to be able to break my board. So normally when I use up 1, I end up winning. The second one is just there, like, just in case you have to go into the second one. And, like, I don't really need the third one, to be honest. Because, like, it's basically been replaced by the third Dante. Like, you can either run 3 Breaksword and 2 Dante, or 2 Dante and 3 Breaksword. But personally, I'd just rather have the extra Dante. Next, 2 Leviair, because Leviair combos off really well in this deck. Along with it also combos off really well with your second Decatomborg. 2 Beatrice for your Dantes. 1 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon for your 1 Dark rank 4. 2 Utopic Future for Cosmo, because Cosmo Dark Destroyer is difficult to deal with. 2 Masked Hero Dark War, because it's really good against just the Mirror Match, Monarchs, and it's still good against the Cosmo. And finally, the 1 Dante, the Pilgrim, I think. Yeah, the Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. Just for your special summon target with Beatrice. Well, that's it for the deck profile. Do leave a like, post a comment on what changes you think I could make to the deck. Now, like I said, this deck definitely has the ability to be top of the format. So, that's it for the deck.